Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us today. My name is Joni Ogg, and on behalf of the travel professional community and travelprofessionalnews.com, I want to welcome all of you to today's webinar, and I really do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to join us. Our host today is a good friend of mine and a colleague, and Chad Burt is the co-owner of OutsideAgents.com. And we've known each other for many years. I won't say how many, but it's been a long time. I believe it was before he had children, and now he told me how old they were. So that's freaking me out. And I've had the pleasure of hosting Chad actually on several panels at industry events throughout these years. And he's super fun. So you guys better be ready for that. And he's very engaging. So it's going to be fun, and it's going to be a great presentation without question. I always love to hear Chad speak. I asked Chad to share a brief bio with all of us. I asked him about this, and maybe he'll share with you this in a few minutes, the details about this. But I said, tell me a little about your past. And he said, I've been a terrible employee. I've been a fierce competitor. Well, that's a good thing. And natural nurturer. So he felt that he knew entrepreneurship was probably his only hope for a gig. So he started his first business in the fourth grade, which we might have to hear what that was about. And he's built numerous enterprises around his passions, which include education, improv, cars, family, creativity, technology, and of course, the ever important travel. So today, as co-owner of America's premier host agency, OutsideAgents.com, he's able to pursue all of his passions for a living. And that's from marketing to technology and everything in between. And he simply loves being an entrepreneur and nurturing others of a kindred spirit. And I know all of you on here today are all entrepreneurs, so it's a perfect fit. Today's topic is creating the new normal you deserve. And today, one lucky attendee is also going to win a 30-minute complimentary business consultation to discuss and explore how to build your new normal with Chad. So be sure to listen carefully for your chance to win at the end of his presentation, and we'll be asking a question toward the end. Just remember that you're all going to be muted, but we do welcome your questions. All you need to do is just type in your questions at any time in the questions area that you see on the side panel of your screen. When Chad's presentation is over, we're going to take as many questions as we can. And if you have other questions in between that I can field for him, I will do so. So let's turn the microphone over to Chad. Welcome, Chad. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Joni. I can't wait for this. I appreciate the introduction.
Well, go for it, dude. It's all yours.
All right, cool. Folks, thank you so much for joining me today. This is something I've been really looking forward to for a number of reasons, not the least of which I always enjoy working with Joni, but of course, I also needed a little bit of therapy. I was thinking about this COVID thing as it started happening. This goes back months, obviously for everybody. And the language, the imagery, the communications I was hearing all around me were just, I don't know, they were weighing down on me. All this unprecedented times and uncertainty and, what will the new normal look like? And, how to cope with the new normal. It was just driving me crazy. I know there was an emergency. I know there was a global pandemic. I understand that this is an event of near biblical proportions. I mean, this is huge. I understand that and I get it. But I was trying to figure out a way to change the mindset around me. I was trying to figure out how to address this catastrophic event, this global problem. And so I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about it, and some things came out in some trade papers, and got me kind of pumped up even more about just the negativity out there, and the concern about the future, and so on. I was trying to figure out how to explain what I was going through, and I was reminded of a skit that I saw when I was in Boy Scouts. We were getting ready to go on our Order of the Arrow trip. That's where you send a bunch of 13, 14, 15-year-old kids out into the woods by themselves overnight to camp. And it's pretty scary. A lot of scared young boys sitting out there getting ready to go camp by themselves. And so the troop leader and his assistant came out and did a little skit for us. And it went a little something like this. So there was a captain of a British sailing ship scanning the horizon through his telescope, looking out there for enemies. And sure enough, off on the horizon, he sees half of the French Armada under full sail, heading straight towards him, his solitary ship in the middle of the ocean. And he lowers his spy scope, looks to his first mate, and says, "First mate, bring me my red pants." And the first mate scurries away and returns with his red pants. And the first mate says, "But Captain, sir, why do you need your red pants?" And the captain replies, "Because I don't want my men to see me bleed," he says with authority, and resumes scanning the horizon. A few moments later, off to his left now, he sees the other half of the French Armada, the other half sailing under full sail, headed straight towards him. So he looks to his first mate and he says, "First mate, bring me my brown pants." Hopefully most of you guys get that joke. The point is that we're all seeing things that are terrifying in front of us. We understand that. We get it. These are times that we will remember. They will be historic. They are certainly challenging, but they're not the end of days, folks. They're not the end of days. What we found is, and I love Mark Twain, so you'll indulge me, I hope, is that reports of my death are greatly exaggerated. Folks, my parents had a travel agency from the early 80s until not too long ago. And I understood the entire time I was growing up that travel agents were a dying breed, that travel agencies weren't going to exist anymore. They just weren't. And for those of you who've been in the industry a while, we all know that isn't true. We're here and we're going to be here for a long, long time to come. So how are we going to do that? How are we going to, well, keep wearing our red pants and not worry about our brown ones? Well, the first thing we need to do is be us, be who we are. And why do you think I started with a joke? Because that's who I am. I tend to crack jokes sometimes at the wrong time, sometimes not particularly good one, but at the end of the day, I like cracking jokes. One of the characteristics that made me not the best employee in the world is I tend to laugh at stuff when I'm stressed. It's a coping mechanism of mine. But for me to be real with you folks, I have to be me. And for you to hear where I'm coming from, I have to be me. So the first thing I want to tell everybody is that you are awesome and you have skills and resources and depth that you may not know that you have yet. Dig and take a look at them, because remember, I know that you love the industry. I know that you love travel. I know that you love being a travel agent. But one of the things that we try to tell our agents is that you're a business owner first. You are a business owner first and a travel agent second. And what is a business owner? Well, if anything, a business owner is fluid. Okay. They, in the words of I think it was Bruce Lee, said, "Be water, expand to fill the container that you're in." So business owners are fluid and we're decisive. We don't always know what the right answer is. And we don't always know what the best answer is. But we will make a decision and try it. Joni and I were just talking before this interview, kind of reminiscing about some of our lessons in the business world, and we both agreed that win, lose, or draw, we learned as we went. We didn't know what the answer was. So business owners are fluid and decisive. And one of the decisions you need to make is which pants you're going to wear. Well, folks, I want to tell you something. I'm sitting here with a big old smile on my face, wearing my favorite pair of Levi's. Okay, I'm very comfortable. I'm very happy to be here. I have my red pants handy, but my brown pants are nothing but a distant thought. Okay, I'm ready to do what I need to do. I'm ready to make decisions and endure the consequences. But I promise you, I will continue to do things in this environment to create my new normal. I'm not going to accept the new normal that's given to me. I'm going to make decisions and I'm going to create my new normal. So, what are the strategies that we can employ, that we can use to create that new normal? Folks, the first thing I'm going to tell you is start with the basics. Okay, revisit yourself and see who you are and what you represent. So let's take a peek at that real quick. I just want to give you a little background here. I've been working on a giant new business development course for our agents, 6,000 of them or so, a little less. And I've been doing this since the beginning of the COVID thing. And as I was writing the entrepreneurship portion of it, I was trying to boil down to me what entrepreneurship is. Now, we've all heard the listicles and all that great stuff, but I tried to not listen to any of that for a moment and just boil it down to what I thought was important. The most important thing was value. Okay, what's in it for me? That's the only thing that a client really cares about. The nicest client in the world wants to know the value they're getting. Okay, remember, it's not what they pay that is important, it's what they get. I forget who said it, but I think it was a cynic knows the price of everything and the value of nothing. Okay, so understand the value that what that you represent, and when you're considering your value, you're probably going to be looking at what it costs you to deliver that value. And folks, I want to encourage you, from me to you, on a very personal level, if you're looking at leaving your host, or your industry, or your business because of costs, I want you to think that through again. Okay, a business owner is fluid and they make decisions, and a lot of times those decisions um, are going to have challenging consequences. But one of the best decisions we make is to persevere. The best decisions we make are to carry on. So if you're thinking about quitting because of costs, look at your cable bill first. Maybe kill Disney Plus and Hulu or whatever. Right? Um, Many hosts out there are 50 bucks, 70 bucks. Ours happen to be $21 to start off, but we're talking about dimes and nickels here for you to keep on keeping on, to stay in front of your clients and to persevere. So think about the value you deliver and think about the value that you receive. Another key tenet of entrepreneurship to me, again, we're talking about basics. I'm going to get into some more meat and potatoes here in just a minute. But another key element of an entrepreneur to me is the ability to improvise. Um, Improvisation. Sometimes you just got to fake it till you make it. I'll tell you guys this. Our slogan here at outsideagents.com, and ladies and gentlemen, I signed up our first agent, our second agent, our third agent, our 122nd agent. I signed up our first 600 agents one at a time on the phone. Okay? And our motto behind the scenes was don't look at the man behind the curtain. Okay, Wizard of Oz. And we were faking it until we were making it. And we were doing it during the Great Recession. So my budget was a little less than it was my lunch money. Okay, so we didn't have a whole lot of resources, but we knew we could improvise and get through things until we were at a better place and we could actually start building what we wanted to have at the end of the day. So what can you do now to keep building what you want, your new normal? Well, consider what you can do to change what you've been doing. Um, I'll share this with you. We've had several of our top producing agents have their best months in history in the past 60 days. What did they do? They changed a little bit. They improvised just a touch. And one of our top agents was a cruise mega seller. That's all she did. Presidents of certain cruise lines knew her by name. Okay, she realized that probably isn't going to work out in the short term, and so she shifted over to selling land and domestic. And in so doing, put up her best month in the history that she's been with us. Okay, so improv is so important. Being willing to just go with what you got and do the best that you can will get you through so much. So I know it sounds kind of ephemeral or a little vague, but think about what you can do to get through your comfort zone, get your comfort zone behind you, get into your uncomfortable zone, and do different things as the current environment requires. Next, I'm going to use a word that might date me just a bit, but I think it's really important. Moxie. Moxie, when you can walk into a room and own that room. And we all know somebody who demonstrates moxie. We've seen those people who are just too cool for school. They walk in, they can talk to everybody, they can engage with everybody. And I'm not just talking about in the real world. It can be over the phone, it can be through an email, but some people just seem to have it. I would argue that we all have it. We all have that energy that we can cast about us and people can pick up on, they can feel. Get your moxie on. Walk into a room with a positive attitude, with a strong mindset, and it's contagious for the people around you. And then finally, I want to encourage you to fail. No, that doesn't sound good at all, does it? I want to encourage you to fail. Here's the thing. Failure is not an option as an entrepreneur. Failure is a requirement. Failure is not an option, it's a requirement. The second time that you try something is almost always going to go better than the first time. Joni and I were just talking before you guys tuned in about how much we've learned from the boo-boos we've made. Okay, so as you move forward, you may feel uncertain as to what to do next. It's okay. You're going to improvise your way through it. You're going to deliver value, and you're going to use moxie to give people that energy. And you're going to understand that you may fail at what you're doing. Okay? It may not go as well as you'd hope. That's okay, because you're going to change up. You're going to improvise. You're going to use a little bit of moxie. You're going to deliver that value, and you're going to try it again. That's how entrepreneurship works, and that's what you're going to do. Now let's take a look real quick at some of the golden rules, okay? Because these are so important. Many of you, especially experiencing the agents in the industry, have heard these rules since you got started, but let's revisit them real quick and look at them with a different light for just a moment. All right? One of the golden rules, of course, don't sell from your own pocket. Okay? Don't sell from your own pocket. Don't assume that the people that you're working with are as financially capable as you are, be that, to the good side or the bad side, the rich side or the poor side. But don't make any assumptions. Don't sell from your pocket. Well, don't sell from your fear. Okay? Don't sell from your fear. Don't cause fear by sounding scared, by looking scared, by writing scared. Don't cause that which you're trying to avoid. It's critical that we don't pander to fear. Now, are people fearful? Are there emotions? Absolutely. We can acknowledge those and embrace them, but we don't have to pander to them. We don't have to cater to them. Don't sell from your own pocket. Next, another golden rule is, of course, assume the sale, right? Which credit card would you like me to put that on for you today? Right? We've been taught that since the day we started. Assume the sale. Assume that things are going to work out. Assume that people want to travel. There's no doubt in my mind from every conversation I've had out there that everybody I know wants to travel. They have some questions, they have some concerns, they have some fears, and you're there to address them. That's what you're there to do. And how are you going to do that? Well, you're going to smile and be earnest. One of my favorite plays is Oscar Wilde's The Importance of Being Earnest. And the concept there was for the characters in it was style before substance. I'm going to argue that substance before style is more important here. So smile, set the tone, be unapologetic. You don't have to have a tone about you that's fearful. We don't have to approach people like we're at some terrible, event or anything like that. People know that stuff's going on globally. People know that there's a pandemic out there. We don't need to address that. Okay, we can just assume that, smile, and be honest and earnest. Okay, we can know our facts. I'm going to talk more about that later, and speak with sincerity, folks. I don't know. I think it's common knowledge, but at the end of the day, honesty is bringing forth facts. Earnesty is doing it with sincerity. Okay? So if I'm trying to tell people it's all right out there, I have to be sincere. So, and there's a little boo-boo in my slide. So proof positive that failure is not an option. Okay? But you want to speak from the heart. Okay? Don't try to be somebody you're not. Be yourself. Be sincere. Be genuine, and people will understand that. Okay? And once you have that understanding, then you can really talk to people. Okay? And another golden rule, right? Features are features. That's great. But we talk about benefits. Okay, what are the benefits moving forward? For example, why would you want to book travel now? Well, because there's benefits involved. The inventory is going to be reduced next year because of all these future travel credits. So you want to be able to secure your inventory. You want to maybe purchase stuff now while it's on sale because they're having trouble filling properties. There's all kinds of benefits to booking now. Many vendors now are offering risk-free bookings. And so there's benefits now that you can offer your clients and focus on for them. Okay? And another little point I want to make is, we're all concerned right now. What are the rules? What can you say? Again, Joni and I were just talking about this. I just got back from Clearwater, Florida with the wife and kids. And, we went into town and there were some, I don't know, rules out there, but I wasn't quite sure what they were. Should I hand the waiter my credit card or wait for them to bring me the machine? How long do I have to wear my mask while I'm inside? When I was walking down the pier out there in the open air, could I pass people closer than 6 feet? I didn't know. I didn't know, but the reward was that I was out of town. I needed to get out of town. The reward was that I got to go out to dinner, and the reward was that I got to go down that pier and enjoy myself. So you always have to balance what the perceived rules are and what the rewards are. I'll use an example here. Political correctness. Should we mention travel right now? Yes, absolutely. We need to mention travel right now, but some agents are afraid to even promote themselves for fear of, hurting somebody's feelings. I get that. I understand that. But what's the reward to you folks speaking up, promoting yourself in your industry? Well, think about it this way. Let's say there's 100 people out there that you might be able to talk to through email or whatever medium. And there's a chance that you might hurt one of their feelings. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. We don't want to hurt people's feelings. But out of that 100, there's 99 people that we would lift up, that we would empower, that we would share our positivity with by simply communicating. The rule would be, don't risk offending or hurting that one person. I would say that the reward for the other 99 far outweighs any of the consequences. It's imperative that we speak to people right now and let them know that there is sunshine at the end of this. It's imperative that we speak to those 99 people. So at the end of the day, the golden rules still apply. Risks and rewards, features and benefits, being earnest and honest, assuming to sell, not selling from your own pocket. At the end of the day, folks, remember, you are a business owner. Your job is to talk the talk and walk the walk. How do you do that? Let me give you some tactics that you can use to go out there, some basic stuff that you can do today and tomorrow to help you kind of get on your way. First thing you can do is communicate positivity. Okay? You can communicate positively and positivity. And positively means that I'm putting a positive spin on everything. Communicating positivity means that I'm giving an energy to it. Okay? I'm saying what I believe, and I'm putting it out there because I know that it's important. I know that it's good stuff, and I'm earnest and honest when I say it. So the first thing I would do is I'd start promoting travel in general. And there's kind of I don't know if you've noticed or not, but there's a little dark cloud over the travel industry right now. If you look at popular opinion, popular polls and stuff like that, people are concerned. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit later on. Okay, but it's imperative that you share that positivity. And Joni, I got that word reintroduced to my vernacular because of my conversations with you about the little pet project of mine. I'm not trying to sell anybody anything, so ignore the URL. But my point is that I was going around and I was seeing so many people with grim faces, black masks on, and so on and so forth. It just looked sad. And I wanted to be a little more positive. I wanted to share some good vibes, and I wanted to be aspirational. Folks, I'll be brutally honest with you. I got really sick right before COVID hit, and I was going through some stuff. And as I got better and I started healing, all this negativity around me, I just didn't know what to do with it. So I came with a little pet project. It's masksfortravel.com. Basically, it's a smiley face. And a little slogan on there. It says, "This is my vacation face." I just wanted to associate a smile, something positive, with the word vacation in people's minds. And I'll tell you this, most of the people I walk by in the grocery store smile back at me. Many people will point it out, that's a really cool mask, and they're smiling. I'm just trying to create a different environment. I'm trying to create my new normal. Okay. Let me put this just a little differently. Okay. I understand that we've all been through hell. Okay. I get it. Everyone knows it. It's painful. It's just overwhelming. We've been flooded with bad news. But I believe that right now, people need hope and confidence more than ever. And we need hope and confidence. Right now, we need a vacation, frankly. Okay. And you can help give everyone those feelings, that energy, by highlighting the positives that are going on in this world and downplaying the negative. Just be genuine when you do it. Okay? That positivity will influence people around you. And if you've got to do it one person at a time, one smile at a time, then do it that way. Now, when you're doing it, again, be honest and earnest. Talk it up. Don't be afraid to talk about something that you believe in. Be unapologetic. when you're talking to people. Okay, keep that substance above the style. Okay, share good information with people, not media hype, not doom and gloom. What are the positive things that are going on out there? Changes with the CDC, taking off the global travel ban and making it country specific. That was a positive step in the right direction. Having travel resume in different hotspots in the hot tourist destinations in the United States was a good thing. Wasn't played up on the news too much. And remember, we all hear all this background noise. We may not be listening to it directly, but we hear it. So there's different ways that you can shift people's mindset. Okay. One of the most important things you can do is know quality facts. Less is more here. And you don't need to paint this range of stuff from, horrible to awesome. Focus in on the good stuff, and be cautious with your wording. You want to flip the script. Okay, influencers do that. People who change people around them oftentimes do so by flipping the script, by changing the vibe around them. Let's look at an example. We could say that airlines are now forcing passengers to wear masks, even against their wishes. That's okay. That's factually true. Okay, great. Couldn't we say that wearing a mask while flying is easy? Okay, it assumes the fact and the feature, but it also assumes the sale. In my world, I'd send a mask and explain how comfy it is and how easy it is to carry through an airport. The point being that we don't have to word things in a way that makes it sound like the next airplane that flies over is going to land on our heads. We can focus on the positive side of things. You can now travel down to Puerto Vallarta. Probably have your own row on the plane. Okay, just be ready for it. Carry a mask. So we're shifting it from warnings of the apocalypse to ways that we can go out there and do things, and people will appreciate that breath of fresh air that you offer. So flip that script. Okay, be the influencer. Do what you need to do to change the optics from fear to fun. And frankly, folks, stop being so darn serious. Okay, I understand. I empathize with everybody out there that this is the biggest event in my 51 years of life. This is gnarly. This is huge. I get it. And there is a tomorrow. And it's going to be great. I personally, for a number of reasons, I'm going to talk about those reasons a bit later on, but for a number of reasons, choose to accept the facts that are uncomfortable and focus on the future that I can create. So let's talk about some more specific tactics. And so here's the general tone we're looking at and everything that we're doing in terms of communication, positivity. Now let's talk about email marketing. Okay. I can't tell you how many agents that I've spoken to a couple months ago, 2, 3 months ago, that had stopped marketing altogether. Just turned it off. They didn't want to offend anybody. They didn't want to hurt anybody's feeling. They didn't want to be insensitive. And they suffered for it. So one of the most important things I can suggest that you do is resume your email marketing, set it up, revamp it. Okay, spice it up. But whatever you do, don't stop. Stay in front of people. Okay, why? Because it's going to reclaim and reinforce awareness in your brand. I promise you that when this passes, and before this it passes in its entirety, travel is resuming, and it will resume, and it will resume with a vengeance. People, there's a pent up demand for it. People have this wanderlust, and they will seize an opportunity. The question is when. You just want to be in front of them, and you want to help shape what when looks for them. Okay, so do something basic. Shift your messaging from can't, 2020 promotions, to can. Look at 2021. Okay, or 2021. Look at domestic travel. Look at other things that might be outside of your comfort zone. Whatever you do, make sure that you're promoting risk-free travel. Okay, how many vendors out there now are offering worry-free booking opportunities? No cancellation penalties, limited cancellation penalties, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Some are covering some of the country-specific entry requirements. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff out there that has no risk, so clients can put their money down now secure the inventory that they want rather than what's left over, get an amazing deal on it, and you can benefit from it, obviously, make a few bucks. Okay. So it's a win for everybody. Another win for everybody, and this may sound counterintuitive to some of you that's been in the industry for a while. The rule of thumb for us was always, don't worry about domestic travel. The one night hotel stays for 99 bucks ain't making you any money. Focus in on the good stuff, all inclusives, cruise, tour, etc. But now is a good time to consider looking at domestic travel, especially tier two uh, destinations. Okay? Many consortiums maintain a list. I know ours does. We're with travel leaders, and we promote this list to our agents as well, of domestic travel opportunities. And these tier two places where it's not quite so crowded, but it's still pretty cool. And there's a couple dollars to be made there, but the real benefit to you is not a couple dollars in your pocket. Or let me back up. A couple dollars in your pocket is a really important thing. I get that. Even more important than that important thing is the fact that you're getting paid to stay in front of your clients. I promise you that your competitors are out there. The big boys, the OTAs, are definitely staying in front of your clients. You need to stay in the mix. Okay, so just focus in on the benefits. Don't try to use words like substitutes, despite the pandemic and, even though, and that kind of wording. It's just going to kind of make people be more uncomfortable. Just focus on the good stuff and what they can do rather than what they can't do. Now, anybody who knows me knows that I'm a big old geek. That having been said, I'm also a believer in flipping the script, doing things a little different. It attracts attention. And if you're ready for that attention, it's a good thing. So I'm going to encourage you folks to take a good look at your direct mail marketing. Okay. Now, many of your consortiums, offer managed marketing systems. I know we offer systems to our agents, for direct mail that's less than cost and all that great stuff. But nowadays, I would suggest thinking through a personal note, a handwritten note that addresses them by name, says something specific about the client. Hey, I remember your vacation last year and I saw this thing and made me think of you. I hope you and yours are doing well. Looking forward to talking to you again, Chad. Something really simple. It gets delivered to them so that you're thinking about them. Everybody has a really nice looking direct mail piece nowadays, right? Printing is no longer, this isn't the Gutenberg era anymore, right? We can make really nice things and print them out and have the name in line and insert and mail merge and all that great stuff. But a personal note goes a long ways. And I would argue that many of you now have the time to sit down and write such a note. So send a birthday card and sign it yourself, or an anniversary, or just, like I said, a thinking of you thing. Or we have an agent that made it I thought this was so cool. She made custom cookies and had them packaged up and sent them out to her clients. Another agent did something kind of similar, but had them printed. Who knew that you could get cookies custom printed online for about $1.25 a piece? But talk about something to make somebody smile, or send them a custom face mask, send them a lollipop, send them something that is relevant to them that made them or made you think of them. Let's say the husband has a sweet tooth and loves fudge. Send him some fudge, say thinking of you. Just a little note. Might cost you $1 or $2, but it's real, it's honest, it's earnest, and they feel your sincerity. Okay. You can even offer them benefits to making their next booking. Okay. Mention that you'll give them complimentary travel insurance off their next trip, or $50 off their next trip. I know discounting is not our favorite thing, and we're not trying to rebate. It's the offer that counts. Will 50 bucks one way or the other make a consumer make a decision on a $5,000 vacation? Probably not, but you will. Your honesty will. Your earnestness will. Absolutely. There's a number of ways that you can get this information across. Again, you can use your horse consortium's marketing system, or you can use, and I recommend nowadays using both, that you can use their system or those handwritten little personal touches. They go a long way. But whatever you do, be offhanded about it. Be conversational about it. Did you know? Right? Avoid giving too much credit to the elephant in the room. Okay. I know that many of you are staying at home now, and we'll get through this together. And despite all this, I'd like to offer you. No, that's the wrong tone, folks. That's the wrong tone. The right tone is, did you know that I have over 75 vendors that are protecting your vacation with cancel for any reason policies? I can't wait to book you for 2021. Okay, that affirmational, that messaging, that positivity is contagious, and it will get people thinking the right way. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about mindset in just a bit. Now, there's also the idea of social communication. We've all heard about this. Even my logo has what? Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn, all that kind of stuff. What does this allow you to do? Allows you to stay in front of your clients. Okay, that's the most important thing, and show value while you're doing it. And if you're lucky, to put a few bucks in your pocket now and a few quote unquote in the bank for later. I understand that what you sell today, you don't get paid for till they travel. I get that. Okay, but I'd rather have some money in the bank for 2021 than no money in the bank for 2021. I'd rather sell some small domestic items now and have a few bucks in my pocket than no bucks in my pocket. Okay, so look at the close-in travel deals, and please, folks, please promote to your clients that have future cruise credits and future travel credits. I promise you, your competitors are. One of our major partners just sent out an email/alert indicating that a lot of agents are using Facebook ads to target known travelers. And the ads are basically, let us redeem your future cruise credit. Remember, those cruise credits, those travel credits, for the most part, can be redeemed by anyone. All right, so stay in front of your clients. Let them know that you're here to help. And here's the most important thing. Share your successes online and off. And remember, there's a social world out there that is not online, and it's just as important, if not more so, than the online one. So share your successes, share client trips and plans, okay? Post pictures. Have your clients send you pictures. Joni, a picture in a mask goes a long ways. Be fun about it, okay? Share what you're planning, what you're looking at, what you've planned, and what they've done. Even more important than that, lead by example. Folks, if you have not started to plan your own vacation yet, you're doing yourself a disservice. Plain out, plain and simple, and I'm being kind when I say disservice. You as a travel agent should absolutely have the confidence to start at least planning your next trip. And do it again, offhandedly. Don't make a big deal out of it. Okay? Or point out that you're going to travel despite the pandemic or anything. No, I'm excited. I'm going on a river cruise next year. Check this out. I'm looking at this and I'm looking at that. What do you guys think? Make it engaging. Okay? Make it offhanded, make it conversational, and make it real. Share vendor and destination wins, things that they're doing right. Okay, but get out there and share from the heart and do it with positivity. Next, folks, y'all need AA. I don't know if you know that or not, but AA is important. And it's not just for what you're thinking. It's actually something I call agent assistance. Okay, there's a lot of help out there for us. Many of us aren't taking advantage of it. Okay, so one of the things you can do is exceed your efforts through automation. Okay, take the assistant, the program, the systems that you have available through your hosts and consortia and use them. Okay, Travel Leaders has Agent Profiler. We offer a managed marketing system in conjunction with engagement. We offer one-on-one mentoring support. I mean, there's lots of help out there. Take advantage of it. I want to tell you guys a little secret, the 30-minute consultation that I'm offering as a prize here at the end. Folks, I do that all the time with my agents. They're welcome to call me or my business partner, Steve, anytime. They have our cell phone numbers. And if they need to talk to us, hey, we're in it together, right? I get paid when they get paid, and I love what I'm doing. So anytime I get a call from an agent, I'm thrilled to take it, see what I can do with it to help them out. Participate in social groups, okay? And yes, contribute, successes and wins and positive vibes and all that stuff, but also keep an eye on top agents. See what they're doing. Follow people. I heard a guy, Jimmy or James Dorsey speaking one time on social media, and he said the number one thing he looks at in social media is not what people post, but rather who they follow. That tells you a lot about the person. Okay, so follow industry leaders. Okay, follow top agents, follow people that impress you for whatever reason. Okay, at the end of the day, credibility is key. Do not be part of the alternative facts machine. Okay, just because you saw it on Facebook does not make it true, folks. Be careful what you repeat. Be careful what you repost. Okay, make sure that your facts are in order, folks. I want you to leverage other types of help out there. Now, my mom always told me it's not polite to talk about politics, religion, or finances. Now, I told you that I'm not particularly good at listening sometimes, as evidenced by my employment record, but I'm going to talk to you about finances. Folks, right now is the time to look at things. There's all kinds of help out there. Financial help, coaching, mentoring, guidance. And one of the best resources I've found is COVIDcap.com from Duke University. COVIDcap, C-A-P, is in capital. And this is probably the most extensive database in the nation today for different grants, loans, and mentoring programs in the United States. Now, as the word implies, grant is a good thing because they're giving you money. And like the PPP program is actually a grant if you do it right. Okay. Loans, that's a very personal decision. But I'll tell you this, I would rather have the money and the help now than try to get it later. I'll tell you guys a little secret. Banks love loaning you money when you have money. Very few of them will help you out when you have no money. So if you're looking at the future and you're kind of thinking things through, and there are opportunities to stock your shelves, so to speak, to weather this storm, to get through this winter, I would do it now. Worst case scenario, I would encourage you to at least go to this covidcap.com. Just check it out. There's no harm in looking and just seeing what options may be out there. It may just calm your mind a little bit. It may let that positivity shine through just knowing that you have options. Okay, just go through there and take a peek. Okay, so we're trying to calm ourselves down, trying to plan for the future, trying to decide which pants we're going to wear, right? So an important part of what I'm trying to share with you is that you can change the people around you. You can influence them. Okay. And the way you do that is by getting yourself right first. The most important thing that you can do right now, folks, is get your mind right. Okay. This is important because it's going to allow you to function and it's going to allow you to help others. Think about this. So we're all travel agents. Arguably, we've all been on a plane. Why do they tell you to put your oxygen mask on first? That's counterintuitive. Again, Joni and I were laughing before this. We were catching up, talking about kids growing up and, all the cliches that as a kid you think were just funny. And then as a parent, you find out were true. What you do for your kid and all that, the sacrifices and all that. And one of the things that happens, unfortunately, in aviation crises is that parents try putting that oxygen mask on their kid first and they lose consciousness and they can't help anybody. That sounds pretty bad and kind of a dark analogy, but folks, I think it holds true right now. And it holds true in a very positive way. In order to help others, we must help ourselves first. So calm your mind a little bit, get it right, put your oxygen mask on so that you can help others. Okay, so think this through for just a second, okay? I know mindfulness is a big buzzword out there nowadays, and I want to add to that the idea of meaningful mindfulness, okay? Mental health. For the sake of helping others, put your oxygen mask on. For the sake of your health, focus on facts from authoritative sources so that you can help your clients. Don't be influenced by noise. There's so much noise out there. There's so much stuff. Everybody has an opinion. Focus on that which you can consider to be fact and look at it in the right light so that you can help guide your clients. Ladies and gentlemen, now is the time to focus on you first. put that oxygen mask on so that you can move forward and be that positive influence, that great vibe, that energy that 99 out of 100 people need right now. Let me throw a couple facts at you here in conclusion, okay? Just real quick. It's a fact that 2/3 of travel advisors believe their clients would be willing to take a COVID-19 test prior to visiting a destination. Okay, so they believe that 2/3 of their clients are essentially ready to travel. And yet at the same time, the vast majority of travel advisors, 89%, 90%, have not taken a flight or visited a hotel in 90 days. And yet 47% of you are saying that you're ready to do it. The article actually said that if it was a fan, most of you guys are ready to travel. Okay. So there's a little disparity there, right? It seems like more of our clients are ready to travel than we are. Get out there and start thinking about your next trip. Clear your mind and think about the future in a positive way. Okay. So let's look at this from the perspective of psychology real quick. Just very quickly. I want you to think of, I'm sorry, I want you to not think of a white bear. Whatever you do not think of a white bear. For the next 60 seconds, whatever you do not think of a white bear. Do not think of a polar bear, a white bear, bear in the snow. Do not think of a white bear. 94% of you, according to major studies done at major universities, thought of a white bear within 5 seconds of me finishing that statement. Okay, why? It's called the white bear effect. It's a well-known psychological principle out there, and it basically goes like this. I'm not going to read the sentence because it sounds weird, but the brain can't think of something that isn't. It doesn't work that way. It can only think of what is and then say not. Okay, so it has to think of what is and then say what's the opposite of that. That's what's not. So don't tell your clients to not think of things. Okay? By me telling you that, I'm going to make you remember to tell them to not think of stuff. Or in other words, you can't try to get them to forget it or put it aside. What's on their concerns, you have to address them. Okay, you have to address them. So how are you going to do that? Well, you're going to use a technique called cognitive reappraisal or cognitive reassignment, depending on what college you went to. I want to say study at Columbia University real quick. Okay, basically, our mindset, our mind gets triggered on things, gets motivated, gets influenced by things, and there's physical changes that occur in our brain. There's a part of our brain. I'm not going to go down this whole road with you real quick, but there's a thing called in our brain called the amygdala, and it basically controls, just like the gate for fear and anxiety. Okay, it controls what gets through and what doesn't, what makes us afraid and what doesn't. And they found one of the most important triggers in the brain are the words that we use with ourselves. Okay, was it huge, large, massive, gargantuan, crushing in size? What was it? Well, if we say that it was, catastrophic, our mind is going to react a certain way. And if we say, well, it was problematic, our mind's going to react a bit differently because catastrophic's a lot worse than problematic, isn't it? So what we say to ourselves matters. I'll use another example. I used to coach speech when I was younger out of college. And, arguably that's one of the top 3 fears we as humans in the Western civilization have is public speaking. Okay, and I used to coach my students that you have to readdress this thing that you have going on. You're not afraid. You're not afraid. You're nervous. You have anxiety. You're anxious, and that is nothing more than the physical manifestation of your body getting ready to do something it thinks is important. So your adrenaline is getting cranked up, your endorphins are getting cranked up, your oxygen utilization is improving. You're getting ready to do what you have to do to win. It's a physiological reaction. So use your words carefully, especially with yourself. Choose your words carefully when you're talking to people. And make sure that you're giving people the right dimension to the things that you're describing. Okay, is it a global catastrophe, or is it a global pandemic, or are we moving towards a solution to a global problem? Okay? Choose those words and use those words with yourself. When you catch yourself overstating something, calm down, take a deep breath, choose a different word. Your brain is designed to help leverage those words to create a sense of congruency, of similarity between the mind and the body. Okay, try this. You can do it now because I can't see you if you want, but try being mad and smiling. It's almost impossible to stay mad when you're smiling. Why? Because the body and mind are designed to work together. So at the end of the day, folks, I really want you to take away a few key points. One, choose the pants you're going to wear. Right now, my Levi's are very comfortable. I've got my red pants handy if I got to go fight. And those brown pants, I'm not even worried about those. Second, remember the basics. Okay, they're near and dear to your heart. Remember the basics. Next, remember to be you. And you have to be both honest and earnest. And remember to do things. Remember that you're going to make choices. And some of those are going to be better than others. But you're going to stay in front of your clients. You're going to stay in this industry and you will move forward. Okay. And finally, folks, I want you to take care of yourselves. A lot of us are stressing out. Many of you are here because you're hoping to find out how to create your new normal. Well, here's the secret. I'm going to give it to you right now. The secret to creating your new normal is doing it. Just do it. Start making some small changes. Remember, if the problem looks huge, chop it up into small pieces and do one thing at a time. One little piece, one little step forward at a time will empower you to take bigger steps and more steps moving forward. And as you're moving and you're sharing this positivity, you're sharing this energy, it's going to gain its own inertia. It's going to start having a life of its own. And ultimately, you're going to be better off for it. So at the end of the day, take care of your mental health. Put your oxygen mask on. Focus on facts. Breathe. Please take a breath. I know many of us are charged up and ready to rock. We have a lot of energy. That's okay. Take a breath. Relax. A lot of us have some fears, some concerns. We're scared. That's okay. Take a deep breath. Relax. Calm yourself so that you can share your positivity. Folks, ultimately, it's up to you to create the new normal that you want, or what I call creating your new normal. Thank you so much. And Joni, if there's some questions, I'd be happy to ask or answer them now.
Well, first of all, I just want to thank you. That was really awesome. I know you're an incredible speaker and an incredible person, but I truly did enjoy that so much, Chad. I mean, you helped
Thank you.
me. You helped me even. I told you we're going through some changes in our world here personally, and like I really kind of needed that today. I may be calling you just for some consultations, because I
Call
might
me
need you.
anytime.
You have a very nice way of helping everybody kind of understand what we all know, what you're saying because we're living it, but it's good to be reminded that we are really in control of ourselves, and how we take that is where we go with it. And I really
Absolutely.
so appreciate that. It was awesome. So we do have some questions and some comments. So if you're okay with this, I'm going to first go through some of the comments.
Okay.
Okay, because as somebody shared, fail forward with a happy face, and it says when you stand up, you're one step ahead of where you were when you go forward. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Love it.
I know.
Love
I
it.
thought that was cool. And then another gal shared that she's been sending out thinking of you cards, and her clients are just loving getting them. They're responding back. Michelle's doing that. And she said she does it with American Greetings card, and a 1 year subscription is only $20. So if you're going to
Perfect.
cancel the Disney Channel and instead do that, because that probably makes a lot more financial sense for your business. So that's great. Thanks, Michelle. And then Stacy says, you can't say bubbles in an angry tone. So everybody has to try that for themselves. I know we're everybody muted, but I want you to try that and see if you can say bubbles in an angry tone. And I think she's right. You can't. So that's
Uh,
awesome. I know.
That
Very
is
good,
great.
good stuff, right? You really got people going here. People are saying, April says, thank you so much for the positive. She needed that. Thank you, Chad and outside agents. That was amazing. Great presentation, Chad. Thanks for your inspiration. So well done. Thank you, Chad. Chad, great job. Boy, dude, you're really getting them here. No question, a fantastic pep talk. I'm glad you agree, Gwen. That was awesome. Thank you so much. It was very encouraging as we move forward. Outside agent rocks, which we know that too. As a new agent, somebody says a new agent that began right before COVID. Talk about timing, right?
Mhm.
What is your number one suggestion in finding new clients during this time?
Beautiful. They are everywhere around you. Everywhere around you. Just talk about it. Okay. The mask thing. I'm not going to do the URL again. I'm not trying to do a sales pitch here, but
Oh, I wish you would, 'cause it
Joni.
was hysterical.
Okay.
You need to, yeah,
Okay.
you guys need to
So check it out.
go to this site. He was kind enough to send me a couple masks, so I took a picture of myself in it and sent it back to him. It's awesome. It's such a happy, fun idea, and he's going to make $1 million doing it. But
Okay. Well, check it out. I'm not trying to make money doing
I
it.
know it
I
was.
will
I know
tell
you.
you that.
You're just
Okay.
barely covering your costs, but it's still fun.
But the idea was this: everybody's stressed out, right? And I just wanted to put a smile on people's faces. And I'm going to put it up on the screen if you don't mind, Joni.
No, absolutely,
Um,
I would love it. Yeah,
here's the idea, and you're the one that got me pumped on. This is as honest and earnest as I can be, Joni. You're the one that got me. My mind shifted from being positive to sharing positivity. Okay, and this is what I was trying to do, and I didn't have the right word for it. Okay, I wear these masks everywhere I go. We're coming up on a couple thousand of them that we sold or given away. I just ran into my first mask in the wild, so to speak. Somebody that I didn't know that had one on, and everywhere I go, people are smiling and saying, "That's kind of cool." There's some of the people who have submitted pictures to me or to our website. You might recognize just one of them in there.
yeah. There I am. Oh my God.
Okay, but they keep on coming. And what people are finding out is it's an icebreaker, it's a conversation starter. But you don't have to go that far. Just, when people are talking and you overhear something related to, trains, planes, or automobiles, okay, chime in about the good things that are happening in the industry. When you hear people saying, "Well, I wouldn't go on a plane. It's a prescription for death to get on an airplane right now." Yeah, I've heard some things. But, I've been wearing a mask, and I've known a number of people who have taken trips down to Mexico and come back, and they're doing great. It's okay to focus on the upside and not dwell on the downside.
Absolutely.
So, as a new agent just getting started right now, let me reinforce something. I don't want to take up your whole day, but I mean it when I say that we started OutsideAgents.com as the Great Recession was starting. It was absolutely, we didn't know it then, we know it now, absolutely the best thing that happened to us. Why? It made us efficient. It made us lean. It made us nimble. We were doing a lot with very little. So, as a new agent right now, go out there, share positive stories, share successes, just talk things up. Let people just know that you're a travel agent and let that conversation go from there. "Oh, you're a travel agent now? Really?" "Sure, absolutely. I'm looking at stuff for 2021," and start that conversation. Let them know that you're in the industry. Just knowing that they're standing next to a real, live, actual travel agent during a global pandemic will make them remember you. So the number one thing I could tell a new agent right now is use this time, because it's going to be a little slow for you, to share a great vibe about travel and to get your business in order, to get it ready, get your brand polished, your website polished, your card polished. Okay, you might not have a whole lot of cash right now, but you can certainly start looking at things a lot deeper than you could if the phone's ringing all the time. So as a new agent, share the vibe and get ready for the surge.
Fantastic. Okay, I know we have to close in a second because I know everybody's busy today, but I did want to share that. I thought this was a really cool idea that someone was sharing. I just like to share all this because you guys can't see all these questions or comments. So somebody said that they think it's a good idea to send out handwritten notes to CEOs of suppliers or vendors of whom we've had received really outstanding service and help with their staff. I think that's such a cool idea. I haven't taken it up one
Yes.
level. I'm going to say send them one of your masks. That would be
Heck
really
yeah.
cool. Yeah, yeah, that'd be really cool, right? So, and a lot of people are saying that they have the mask. Someone just bought 4 of them. And
Awesome.
I know. And someone else said that they wear them and they do get really positive comments about it. So, all in
Sweet.
all, it's the comments, Chad, you'll see these later because I will send you the comments that were made. And oh my God, you're going to be feeling pretty darn good about yourself after that. So I guess we better get to
Awesome.
our prize. So you had mentioned you gave me that one question, which I'm going to ask, but we
Mhm.
only have the one question. But I did notice that you said you were giving out 2 of your um, consultations on your slides. So I don't want anybody to. So
Let's go
are
with
you game with me just picking the next one in line after that and giving that
sure.
person the second one? Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. All right,
Absolutely. And
folks.
by the way, Jody, I want to be real clear before we give this prize away. I'm not going to try to talk you into joining outside agents. I'm not going to try to anything like that. I want to talk to you as a business person, and I want to give you my best thoughts. So this is not a sales pitch.
No, and I don't think
I really
anybody, by
want
the
to
way
help
you
people.
spoke today, I don't think anybody's at all thinking that would be the case. You're actually here to help us, and if you all are on this webinar, and some of you are with other hosts, and you're happy, that's fantastic. But some of you are on the fence about a host. Obviously, you see who runs this one. It's one of the partners in the business, and it tells you a lot about a person when you get this kind of information. I certainly respect you, and I think it was fantastic. So, okay,
Thank
here we
you.
go. Question. Everybody ready? Okay. So I'm going to take the 5th person that answers it correctly. And I have to do that because the way the screen is, I can't see the first one when it comes through. So I'm going to take the 5th one that I see on my screen, and I'm going to take the 6th one. All right. So the question is, and you need to answer this correctly. Okay. What's the white bear effect? You want to type that in your questions box. Okay, there's some really good answers that aren't necessarily right, but I like them. So, but I'll go ahead and give the right one first and the second one. Okay, so Nicholas, I believe you answered this correctly. You can tell me if this is correct, Brad. I mean, Chad, but he said, brain can't focus on the opposite. Is that pretty much the point?
That's kind of the
Okay,
idea. Yeah,
kind of,
it
yeah,
can
that's what I
only
thought.
think of
And
the
the next
opposite
one
of
in
what it
line
is.
is Carl. We got 2 guys winning today, Carl. Congratulations. It says you tell someone not to think of something and they automatically have to think about it. So,
Bingo.
because I was thinking about the darn bear too. So, anyways, fantastic presentation. I will go ahead and send their names to you, Chad, so you have that information. Boy, everybody, I don't know if you feel as good. I hope you all feel as good as I do right now. Chad, I thank you for that. And thank
Thank you,
all of
Jody.
you agents for being with us today. I just so appreciate it. And I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their afternoon or evening, wherever you happen to be located. And Chad, thank you from the bottom of our hearts from Travel Professional News. We
Thank
are so happy
all of
to be
you, and
partnered with
Jody, especially you. Thank
you.
you
All right,
so
guys.
much. Y'all have a great day.
All right. Thanks so much. Bye, everybody.
All right.
Have a good
Bye bye.
one.